owner of Insta-TEK Computer Services out of Canton, Ohio, in the Myers Lake Plaza. Today we're going to be covering computer hardware for the normal user. This video is designed for intro computer users that don't really know anything about computer hardware. So it'll be real low-level computer hardware. Okay, your external computer parts, you have a couple main pieces. This is the computer. This houses all of the hard drives, the memory, your network card, your modem. Everything's contained in this guy here. This here is your monitor. This is a flat panel or LCD screen. And this one here is your keyboard, and everybody knows what a mouse looks like. These are the external computer parts of your computer. Next, we're going to cover opening up your computer. Opening your computer can be a little difficult on some computers. It's hard to tell you exactly how yours opens since they're all slightly different. This one here is a Dell Dimension. Dell's usually pretty good with theirs. This one has a little lever here. You flip down, side panel pops off. Somehow the side panel pops off. Some of them have little thumb screws that you have to unscrew. Some of them have a little lever. Some of them have push buttons. There's several different kinds. You just have to know that one panel opens up. Most of the time, if you're facing the computer, it's the left-hand side. Some of the newer ones, the right-hand side comes off. Once you have your computer open, you can see the inside of it like this. Underneath here is the motherboard or main board. You have your power supply. Your processor is normally hidden underneath a fan or some kind of shroud. And it has a big radiator here to keep it cool. And all your expansion cards are right here, and your hard drives are over in this area, and your CD drives are here. Sometimes the hard drives are also located horizontally right here, right underneath the CD drives. But that's what the inside of your computer looks like. Okay, right here I have a motherboard. I've taken it out of the computer. This side here is where all your different pieces plug in, your sound, or your speakers plug in here, your network cable, you have all your USB ports, your video port, all that stuff's located on this side of the motherboard. Some main pieces of the motherboard that you have here, again your processor, this one here has the fan with the heatsink right over top of it. Underneath here there's always some kind of clip mechanism to remove it. Be careful taking them off. Some of them you have to use a little screwdriver to stick in there and pop off. You want to make sure that you're very, very careful because you can slip, gouge the motherboard, and you're done. Okay, now that we've taken that off, underneath here we have your actual processor, or this is the brain of your computer. This does all the thinking. It is in a ZIF socket or zero insertion force socket. There's a little lever that kind of locks down. You got to kind of pull it out and lift up on it. Lift it up all the way. And your processor should just gently come out. Now on the processor, there'll be a bunch of little pins underneath here. You can bend these very easy. If you break one off, you're never going to get it to work again. And if you bend one, they're a real pain to straighten back out and get back in. They only fit in one way. You want to pay attention. This one here has a little arrow to tell you that it goes over in this corner. You have different flat sides, so you want to make sure when you put them in that you put them in the right way. When you put it in, you should not have to push at all. Just set it in there and lock it down. One important key feature of this is this white goo right here. A lot of times it's silver. That is thermal paste. You want to make sure that you have thermal paste in between there and the heatsink. That's what causes all the heat to transfer from this to this. If you do not have thermal paste, you will overheat your processor in a matter of seconds after turning it on. You want to make sure that you have thermal paste. If you don't have spare thermal paste, don't take it apart, because the second you wipe all this off, it's not going to go back together and work. So that locks down like that. On the motherboard you have your memory or RAM. These are very, very easy to replace. This one here has 2 in use and 2 extra. So if you want to just go out and buy more memory, you just go buy it and slap it in. If you only have 2 and you're replacing both of them, they have little thumb tabs on the side. Simply push down on them. The memory lifts right out, just like that. To put the memory in, they only fit in one way. You have to make sure that you're putting them in the right way. You set it down in the little slots, make sure it's in there correctly. Gently push down, the side tabs automatically fold in and lock the memory chips in place. And there's both those back in. A lot of computer stores are going to charge you $30 to do that, and that is easily something you can do at home. On your motherboard, you have different sockets or slots for expansion cards. This one here is an AGP video card expansion. It has an onboard video card, but you can upgrade it to a different style. There are several different kinds of video cards. We're going to cover those in a couple minutes. These here are PCI sockets. On your motherboard right here is where your CD drives and hard drives plug into. It's a big thick ribbon cable, just pushes on there. One thing you want to make sure, if you're disconnecting that for any reason, you want to pull straight up on it. If you pull from side to side, you're going to bend these pins over. And I see that all the time. People bring the computer and it's can't get it to work, and that's what they did, was they bent the pins over and then they put the ribbon back in, and it looks like it's in, but the last two pins are bent completely down. So you want to make sure that you don't bend those when you plug it in. Okay, we're going to be covering two different types of video cards.